Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. So in the previous classes from the chapter geometry, we have learned about the different solid shapes, their faces, sides, vertices and also closed and open figures, right? Now let us learn about symmetry. Look at the following pictures. What can you observe from the following pictures, children? We can observe that there is a line passing in the middle. Yes, and if you compare both the left side and the right side, if you compare both the left side and the right side, they are exactly the same. The left side and the right side of these figures or the pictures is exactly the same. So when we have such objects which have equal or identical sides, identical means same left side and same right side, then we say that the object is observing symmetry. The object is symmetrical. What is symmetry? Symmetry is the property where both the halves of the object are the same or identical. They are like the mirror images. Like for example, when you look at yourself in the mirror, do you see any change? No, right? As you are, the same picture is shown in the mirror. So in the same way, if you consider this line as a mirror, the same picture that is on the left side should be there on the right side as well. Understood? If you take this Taj Mahal for example, see here this one pillar, then again this pillar, this pillar, again this pillar, this pillar. So what are we observing? It's the same. Both the halves are exactly the same. This line is dividing this picture into two halves, and when we compare these two halves, both the halves are exactly the same. So we say that these objects are symmetrical. What do we say? Symmetrical. Symmetrical. The objects are symmetrical, and this line, we are having this line, right? This line will be called as line of symmetry. What will it be called as, children? It will be called as our line of symmetry. That means now when we compare both the halves of this line, okay, this line of symmetry divides the picture or the object into two halves such that both the halves are identical. Both the halves are exactly the same. Both the halves are exactly the same. So this line is called as our line of symmetry. Wait a minute, children. Okay. Now identify the shapes that have mirror halves using a mirror and draw a dotted line. Using a mirror means, suppose if you have a small mirror at your home, what you can do is you can say uh, you can draw a object like this, suppose square, and place the mirror here in the middle. Place the mirror here in the middle. Now when you place the mirror here in the middle, you can see some reflection in the mirror, yes or no? So the the reflection should be the same as the other half. The reflection should be the same as the other half. If you have a small mirror at your home, you can try. Or else, here let us see how to find out the line of symmetry. Draw a dotted line means, see, this is our dotted line. Dots, dots, yes. So we have to draw the line of symmetry for the given objects. If we draw the line here in the middle, is this object symmetrical, children? Are both the halves the same? Yes. See, if you observe the pattern, it is one slanting line. Even here it is one slanting line, again one slanting line, one slanting line, a straight line and a straight line. If we observe this dotted line, okay, they have said dotted line, right? So let us draw dotted only. So this dotted line is dividing our both objects in the as symmetrical. It is dividing both the objects as symmetrical. It is dividing the object in such a way that both the halves are symmetrical. So this will be our line of symmetry. Now if I draw the line of symmetry here, will this object be symmetrical, children? No. See, below we are having this shape and above we are having a kind of triangle. Below we are having a U shape and on above we are having a triangle shape. So this is not the line of symmetry. This passing in the middle will be our line of symmetry. Now again coming to object 2, even for object 2, the line in the middle will be the line of symmetry, children. See, both are having the same, both the halves are equally identical. So that becomes our line of symmetry, and these are our mirror halves. Mirror halves is nothing but the same halves. Why are we using the word mirror here? Because when we look in the mirror or when we look at the object in the mirror, there is no difference between the object and the reflection that is shown in the mirror. Yes, there is no difference between the object in reality and the object that we are seeing in the mirror. So mirror halves is nothing but the exactly same and identical halves. Now coming to figure 3, again even for this, mostly children, for all the objects, for most of the objects, the dotted line or the line of symmetry becomes in the middle. Again even for this, if you observe, it is our line of symmetry. See, the object is the same, both the halves are identical. So this line in the middle becomes our line of symmetry. So even for the next shape, this is our line of symmetry. Now coming to this arrow mark, if I draw this dotted line here in the middle, see here this is just a U shape, but here it is having an arrow in the front. So this will not be my line of symmetry. So where to place our dotted line? Here. Understood? This would be my dotted line or nothing but the line of symmetry. This is our dotted line, nothing but the line of symmetry. Now if you observe, or simply what you can do is you can draw the same shape, this shape on a piece of paper, cut it out and fold it in the middle. I have drawn the line here, right? So you also fold it exactly there. Now when you fold here exactly where I am drawing the line, what will happen? This side will overlap on this side. This side will overlap on this side. You will see that both the sides are exactly the same. So that means this becomes our line of symmetry. Yes, children? Now the same for our last shape as well. The line of symmetry is passing through the middle. Now when we draw the dotted line in the middle, we get two mirror halves, that is nothing but the exactly identical halves. Question 2. Draw the missing similar halves of the picture and color them. What are they saying? The missing similar halves. See, that means the other half of the object also has the same pattern using the concept of symmetry. See here we are having a line, right? So even this side will draw a line. Now here we are having a slanting line, so we'll have to draw a slanting line. See, from the given half we have drawn exactly the same on the opposite side, and by doing that we have got our complete figure. Now coming to the second figure again, here first we are having a slanting line, so a slanting line, then we have a straight line, so straight line, then again in, so in, now out, again in, so in. See children, from the given half we have drawn the remaining half, and also they've asked us to color it, right? Okay, let us color it. Done. From using the concept of symmetry, we were able to complete the diagram. Now coming to this, see, it is a slight V here, so V, then a line to the outside, so outside, then inside, inside, then again here this, yes, see this line, then we have this, then this, then we are having this. Okay children, my drawing skills are not so great, so this is a quite similar object. Yes, we have completed this object. Now coming to the leaf here again, see it is in this shape, so we have to draw the same shape. Understood? And then we have to color it. This is it. And coming to the last object now, last picture is a smiley. This is a half circle in the shape of C, so we have to draw C here as well, and here we are having an eye, right? So eye, then completing this smile. Now coming to the coloring part, yes, that's it. Our smiley is also done. Now this is how we understand symmetry. What is symmetry, children? An object is said to be symmetrical when it has two identical halves. Identical halves are nothing but the mirror halves. Did you know? What is it? Nature looks so beautiful because of symmetry. There are many symmetrical objects such as flowers, animals, etc. in nature. Many man-made constructions like buildings are also made symmetrical. Now what are they saying? Our nature. What is nature? Nature is nothing but the surroundings around us. All the plants, animals, trees, birds, insects. So all these come under the nature. Is nature beautiful? Yes, nature looks so beautiful. And what is the reason behind it? It is because the nature is symmetrical. Nature is symmetrical, children. If you observe this, what is this? This is a starfish, this is a dragonfly, this is a leaf, this is a flower, this is a design, this is a man-made building. Now coming to the nature, objects of nature, these four, if we observe, these objects are in symmetry. See, if I draw the line here, we'll get two identical halves. Again, if I draw the line here exactly in the between, we have two identical halves. Again here, two identical halves. Again here, two identical halves. So what are we observing? So all the objects, most of the objects in nature that have come to us naturally are symmetrical. Even you can take a leaf you have, for example, and then observe whether it is following the rule of symmetry or not. You can look at a flower and see whether it is following symmetry or not. For example, children, this is a flower. Yes, this flower is symmetrical. Now when I look at this, both the sides are exactly the same. Now suppose if I draw something like this, okay, not that. If I draw something like this, and even if I try to, okay, let us say that all the objects in the nature follow symmetry. But not only the objects in nature, we have many man-made structures. Man-made structures means what? We have constructed, like the buildings we live in. Are these buildings we live in provided by the nature? No, we have constructed these buildings to live. So many man-made buildings also follow symmetry. See here, if I draw the line in the middle, both the halves are identical. We are having mirror halves, and this is our line of symmetry. Even in this rangoli design, yes, see, if I draw the line here, or even I can draw the line here, children. So if we observe, it is a symmetrical in nature. Both the halves are identical. So what does symmetry do is, symmetry makes an object look more beautiful. It makes an object look beautiful, children. Yes, I hope this is clear. What is it? It is about symmetry. Symmetry is nothing but when we have two identical halves of a given object, the object is said to be symmetrical, and the line wherein which divides it into mirror halves is called as the line of symmetry. Now coming to the next topic, that is point. Take your pencil, sharpen it and place some dots on a sheet of paper. A small dot made by the pencil tip on a sheet of paper is known as point. A point determines an exact location and it has no size. It is denoted by capital letters. What is it? We are going to learn about point. What is the activity given here? You have to take your pencil, sharpen it nicely, and then place some dots on the paper. Place some dots on a sheet of paper. Now this small dot that you have made using the pencil tip is called as our point. What is it called as? It is called as a point. This small dot that you have made on a sheet of paper is called as a point. What is the use of this point? A point determines the exact location. See, when you are out and some, okay, if I ask you to point out something, or if I ask you where is your book, okay children, if I ask you where is your book, then you might say it is in the rack, it is in the rack, it is in the book rack or in the bookshelf. Then I'll ask you, there are so many books in the bookshelf, can you please point your finger to where your book exactly is? When I say point your finger, what you'll do? You'll show me the exact location of where your book is. You will point your finger and then show that, see, this is where my book is, this is my book. So using the point or by pointing your finger, you are telling me the exact location, the correct location. If I don't have this point, or if you would not have pointed, I have to check all the books, I have to search in all the books to find out your book. So a point helps me to determine an exact location. It helps me to determine an exact location. And what are the features of this point? It has no size. It has no size. It is just a dot on a sheet of paper. Yes, it has no size. A point has no size. And how do we denote our point? We denote our point by the capital letters. We denote our point by capital letters. For example, here A is a point. Some more examples are point P, point Q, point R, M, N, L, and so many. So what are they saying? We give names to our points. For example, see, this is a sheet of paper, and on this sheet of paper I have made so many points. There are so many points. Now I'll ask you, from which point should I start drawing? So how can you say there are so many points here? We cannot exactly pinpoint and say that this particular point. So what we'll do is we'll give names to our points. How do we give names? We give names using capital letters. Let this be A, C, B, E, D, F. Now I am having 6 points with 6 different names. Now when I ask you from which point should I start drawing, you can say that from point C, then move to point D, then move to point F, then to B, then to A, then to E. Yes, now giving names to these points has made it easier for us to work. Yes or no? So how do we give the names, children? Whenever we have a point, we give the name using a capital letter. Just one single letter. You should not give big names, like we have big names, right? So like that you should not give names to points. You should just name them. You should give them very small names. The name of a point should only be a single capital letter. Is this clear? Now what is your activity here? Place some points and then name them. You can place any points you want, any number of points you want, and you can name them as per your wish. It's not only necessary that you use the alphabets A, B, C, D, E. You can use any alphabet starting from A to Z. And another point to remember is that always write the name of the point as a capital letter. Do not use small letters. Okay, so suppose this is my point. Do not give small q as the point name. Always use the capital letter Q but not the small letter q. I hope this is clear, children. What did we learn? We have learnt about points and also we have learnt about symmetry. Next topic is line segment. What is a line segment? Hold a piece of thread tightly from both the ends. As you can see in the picture here, hold the piece of thread tightly like this. Now it represents a line segment. Now are you seeing this part, children, between your two fingers? So this part of the thread represents a line segment. The two ends where you are holding the thread represent the end points of the line segment. As I said, this is our line segment. Yes, so where is it ending and starting at? Here and here. That is where we have placed our fingers. So these points represent the end points of the line segment. What is a line? We all know what is a line. This is called as a line. Yes, this is called as a line. Now what is this segment? Segment is nothing but a part of something. This is a line and segment is nothing but a part of something. When I choose this part from the entire line, this will be called as my line segment. Understood, children? From a big piece of thread, what did we do? We are holding only this part of thread. Yes, only this portion, only this segment of thread. So this will be called as our line segment. What is a line segment? It is a part of a line. And what are the properties of a line segment? It has two end points. It has a starting point and a ending point. It has two end points. A line segment has two end points. Now the line segment has two end points. It has length but no thickness. Yes, we can measure the length of this line segment. Can we or cannot? Yes, we can. Take a ruler and measure the length of this line segment. You will get the length. Understood? Here AB is a line segment and is denoted as line segment AB. If you simply draw a line like this, children, it will not be a line segment. If you want it to be a line segment, you have to show the end points like this with the help of a point. We have learnt what is a point, right? Yes, so at the ends, at both the ends, you have to place a point. Then it will be a line segment. And again, what did we learn about point? We can give names to our points. This will be point A and this is point B. Now there is a line joining these 2 points. So this is called as a line segment AB. What is this called as? Line segment AB. And instead of writing the whole words line segment, what you can do is write AB. That is the names of the end point. And upon that draw a small line. Above AB draw a small line like this. So this is nothing but this we read it as line segment AB. Understood, children? This is like a short form, the line segment AB. We write AB and upon or above AB we draw a small line. It is read as our line segment AB. I hope this is clear, children. What is a line segment? A line segment has 2 end points. It has length but it has no thickness. Now how do we write this line segment? As we are having 2 points, you can also write the names of the points as Q and R. Now if you want to, how do we represent this? You write the endpoints QR, and upon that you draw a small line. Then this is nothing but line segment QR. It is read as line segment QR. Draw a few line segments and name them. This is your activity. What should you do? You should draw a few line segments. This will be a line segment. This will be a line segment. This will be a line segment, and name them such as A, B, C, D, Y, Z, or something else. Okay, draw a few line segments and try naming those line segments. Now some more examples are this line segment LM, line segment AB, and look at how they are denoted as. See, LM, and above LM we have drawn a small line. So this is nothing but line segment LM. You have to read it as line segment LM. Now coming to the next one, AB. Here it should be AB. It's not XY. Yes, AB, and upon AB we have drawn a small line. So that means it is nothing but line segment AB. Now in the same way we have line. We have, what do we have? Line. Ask your friend to hold a rope in the middle, and you also hold the rope a little farther from your friend. Keep extending the rope from both the sides. This represents a line. What are we doing here? This is a rope. As you can see, this is a rope, and your friend is holding here and you are holding here. Okay, so this part becomes our line segment. This part, it is having two end points here. Yes, this point and this point. It is having two end points and it becomes the line segment. But when you consider the whole rope, children, see, I can move back like this, right? I can keep extending the rope, and even my friend can keep on extending the rope till we reach the end of the rope. So what can we observe here? We can extend our length from both the sides. Even my friend can move backwards, and even I can extend my length of the rope. So such objects or such items are called as line. Now this rope here represents a line. Why does it represent a line? Because we can extend it from both sides. When you extend a line segment on both the end points, you get a line. You get a line, children. See, if you have only this much, you are having just two end points of the line segment, it will be a line segment. But here, as you can see, after the end points we are having arrow marks here. Arrow marks means this line segment we can extend in this direction and also in this direction. Extend means increase or increase the length. Okay, so as we can extend this from both the directions or both the ends, from both the end points, we are able to extend our line segment. So then this is not called as a line segment, it is called as line. AB becomes a line here. These are not the end points. Even after the end points, we can extend our line segment. So that is why AB here is called as a line. And how do we denote AB? Upon AB we draw a line and then arrow marks on both the ends. So this is nothing but line AB. See children, if we have just two end points, then this will be line segment AB. Now when I have end points, but I can extend the end points on both the sides. I can extend the end points on both the sides, then it is called as a line and it is denoted as like this. We draw a line on top of the end points. Understand? This is what is this? This is a line segment AB and this is line AB. How many endpoints does line segment have? Line segment has two endpoints. A line has no endpoints. A line has no endpoints. It can extend on both the sides. I hope this is clear, children. The basic difference between a line and a line segment. This is what we have to learn from the basics of the chapter geometry. What did we learn? We learned about the solid shapes, faces, sides, vertices, points, lines and line segments. Yes, I hope whatever we have learned from the chapter geometry is clear to you.